Hi everyone, it's your favorite atomic blonde here, and yeah, just wanted to chat about we've had well, what is going on. So obviously I dropped a review, Project Hail Mary, absolutely brilliant, go check that out. On the back of that, I got several new subscribers. Welcome to the channel, lovely to have you here. So thanks. I often say, let me know if there's things you want me to review, what you want to know my thoughts on things. Either put it in the chat here or on the channel, and I will endeavor to look at those. And most of the time I do pick up what people ask, unless it's like, just so bad that it's gonna like damage me beyond repair, like Starfleet Academy. I might have to decline, but I try and keep trying to do what the audience likes and keep you all entertained. So thank you and welcome. And as I was saying, so not only have we had an amazing film, spoilers, with Project Hail Mary, we have this week had 2 trailers drop for 2 tentpole films, which couldn't be more different, So we've had Spider-Man Brand New Day, and obviously Dune 3, which is obviously book 2 of the Dune series, which is Dune Messiah, because book 1 was split into 2 films. Everybody with me? Good. So I'm going to start off by talking about Spider-Man. I have to say I was pleasantly surprised by the trailer. The film looks a lot better than I thought. Now, I will reserve judgment because Sony, along with their partners in crime, Marvel, often give us good trailers with all like the woke crap not in them. And you kind of go, oh, okay, that looks all right. And then we get the film. So I'm not like all in, this looks amazing, because we've had 1 trailer so far, which is this one. But what I have seen has certainly made me interested in seeing the film, apart from the fact that Mark Ruffalo's in it, unfortunately. And I think that might actually damage the film a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, it won't surprise me if this does over $1 billion. But definitely from what we saw with, was it Crime 101? That he was in with Chris Hemsworth and was it Halle Berry? Absolutely tanked. Now, it could just be it wasn't a very good film. It wasn't something I personally went to go see. It's not really... To be fair, it's the sort of film I would watch on streaming. It's not the sort of thing I'd pay money to go to cinema to see, and maybe that's why it didn't do very well. Don't know. But it does make you wonder if, Mark Ruffalo is fast becoming like toxic. He's like the male equivalent of like, Rachel Ziegler. Every time he opens his mouth, it's cringe. So anyway, back to the trailer. So despite him being in it, but it is good to see that the Hulk character has gone back to Bruce Banner and the Hulk, rather than this hybrid thing that we got like in Endgame. I think that's a good move. So No Way Home obviously introduced I guess younger fans to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, along with Andrew Garfield. But obviously he was sort of saying in that film how his webs are part of him. They're part of his like biology, right? From where he got bitten. Whereas but both Tom Holland and Garfield's, they've got like mechanical shooters kind of thing, I believe. So they've introduced that kind of concept to any of the younger audience, who I'm sure would have gone back and watched these other Spider-Man films by now if they hadn't already. But obviously we're sort of seeing Peter Parker, who through the events of No Way Home and Doctor Strange's spell, everybody's forgotten who Peter Parker is. So he kind of sacrificed his life so his friends would be safe, so the world would be safe, no one will remember who he is. But there's also a bit of a rumor that maybe the Hulk does remember who he is. So that would be interesting to see how that plays out, where you got Bruce who doesn't remember, but the Hulk does. So that would be interesting. Yeah, so there's like, he's going through this sort of this DNA change, this metamorphosis, where he appears to be becoming more biologically aligned to a spider. So, but it looks like from the trailer that he's now sort of being able to produce his own webs rather than needing any kind of mechanical device to do that. He is acting a bit creepy, you know, he's kind of stalking his old friends and MJ, which probably isn't very healthy for him. Obviously, they don't remember who he is. MJ doesn't remember that she loved him. She seems like moving on with her life. Looks like either she's got a boyfriend or there's potentially another guy on, you know, I mean, she's a good looking girl. She's going to get chatted up, which must be really weird given their couple in real life, that you're seeing someone hitting on your, I know, is she his wife now? We're not quite sure. Doesn't matter. And they're very much, obviously, so in terms of the other characters, obviously the Punisher was there, which was great. I really, really love John I'm so bad at pronouncing names. Berthenthal. Anyway, his interpretation of the Punisher, he was great in the Netflix Daredevils and shows. Been neutered, obviously, in the Disney Daredevil, as is everybody. And yeah, I'm hearing some cringe stuff about season 2 on Daredevil, but we'll get into that another time. but yeah, the other sort of characters, like say, I think Sadie Sinks wasn't in there, or we certainly didn't see her in any capacity or her face. So that, I'm not sure if that's a red flag or not, but it is a bit of a worry that, you know, she's not in it at all. So again, are they keeping the cringe, the woke out of the trailer, or they just want to save that for the full, you know, follow-up trailer, full review? Because you know, we're probably going to get a million trailers before the film actually comes out, as they do these days. So I think overall looks promising, looks interesting how they're evolving, developing the Peter Parker in this world. You know, how that's going to affect him, and how he's like, obviously he's going through a lot because nobody knows who he is. Now he's getting these you know, DNA changes, plus there's a new big bad to deal with, and you know, we've got Sadie Sink coming in some capacity. So I think in that sense it was quite a good trailer, intro, a lot of unanswered questions, and it has generally made me more excited for this film, because I must admit I really enjoyed No Way Home. But it was a bit like, you know, are they just going to revert to type in the next one? How are they going to continue this forward? Hopefully they just won't undo everything they just did, you know. So looking at where they're going with the story, or certainly with Peter and his character development, I'm actually I'm definitely looking more forward to seeing this. So let's wait and see what we get in the next, because we're probably going to get at least another 2 or 3 trailers. So let's wait and see what we get next. But love to know your thoughts. What did the trailer make you more interested? Did the trailer switch you off? Are you, regardless, you're excited or looking forward to seeing this? Obviously the Spider-Man films seem to be the one thing that's sort of making money at the moment, even though most of that doesn't go to Marvel. And I'm certainly looking forward to this more than I am Doomsday. And I think, I'm sticking my neck out here, this is probably going to be the better film. But what do you think? Yeah, so talking of Doomsday and when that comes out, that leads us on to our second trailer, but this teaser trailer, it's quite long for a teaser trailer actually, with Dune Part 3. So again, if you've been with me a while, you know that I've read the Dune books. I'm a Dune fan, but you know, I love the David Lynch version, even though, you know, that strayed a fair bit from the source material and is kind of kooky, very David Lynch and kind of its time. But I think it still has a place in the sort of Dune world mythos. I absolutely loved Dune parts 1 and 2. I think Dune part 1 was the better film in terms of delivery, but in but Dune part 2, I think visually was absolutely stunning. How that Dune doesn't win more awards for costume and special effects and all that kind of stuff, and as well as the acting, right? But certainly in those areas, Dune part 2 was absolutely stunning, especially like the Harkonnen, however you want to pronounce it, Homeworld, all of that stuff I thought was just done exceptional. I think obviously my biggest complaint, as a lot of people with Dune part 2, was the sort of change at the end and how the Chani was portrayed and how she reacted is a massive deviation from the book. And also just Zendaya's performance. Now, so I quite like her in other things. I just don't gel or don't get how she's portrayed in Dune. She just, for the whole film, certainly Dune part 2, she just has this one emotive face, which is just like she's smelling bad farts, basically. I can't put it any other way. That she's just always got this bad smell under her nose. She's always sort of slightly, and it's just irritating. It's like, emote, show something else. And what I find really strange is when you see her and Timothée Chalamet, like on junkets and things, they're friends in real life, and that friendship, that chemistry is really, really there. And you just sort of see them mucking about, but somehow it doesn't quite translate onto the screen, even though they clearly do have chemistry off screen. So they were kind of my niggles, and I think Dune fans were all really concerned going into part 3. What was going to be part 3? Was it just Dune Messiah, or was it going to be parts of Children of Dune? Because they have cast the twins' roles, but as teenagers. Now, this is more likely to be, I think, one of Paul's visions of seeing the future. Then they actually incorporate Children of Dune, but I could be completely wrong there. Now, I have to say, I was really, really impressed by this teaser trailer. Again, visually stunning as you'd expect. There's some bits, I think Villeneuve has been very clever with this trailer. As I say, a lot of the Dune book fans were quite nervous about how is this going to play out, given he changed the ending in Dune. How is Chani kind of come back and be in a relationship with Paul when she throws her toys out of the pram at the end of the last one? And obviously that's completely alluded to in this teaser trailer, because she's pregnant with the twins. But obviously in that they don't know she's having twins, but not really a spoiler given they've casted the twins. But that dialogue about if it's a girl, we'll name her this, and if it's a boy, we'll name him Leto. I hope he has the wisdom of his grandfather. I mean, that's straight out the book stuff. And obviously Duncan Idaho coming back as a golem. He has the golem eyes. It's like, I think he's been done very strong, coming through from the book. So I think Villeneuve's done some really good stuff there, I think, to help sort of reassure the Dune fans that, hey, it's coming back together. I'm respectful of the book. I'm respectful of the source material. I really hope he is. This is a spoiler. I mean, this is a dark book. I remember when I first read it, I was like, wow, wasn't expecting that ending. It's like, whoosh, especially coming off the back of Dune. Even though it was going into a dark place with the war, with the holy war and the jihad. It'd be interesting to see whether they use that terminology or not. You kind of hope that the Paul was going into it for all the right reasons, and that obviously he'd sort of looked at the future, and there was no other way forward. This is the only thing that could be done, and there's a big time jump into part 3. I think, I'm trying to think from memory, it might be like 20 years or 17 years or something. I probably should have looked up before I came on, but there's quite a big time jump. Hence why his sister, who obviously his mother was carrying in Dune 2, is born and has grown up. Obviously Anya Taylor-Joy, who he saw as a vision, kind of when the fetus was talking to him. If you've never seen this film, you might be like, what the hell are you talking about? But obviously she's like grown up, so I think, you know, she's obviously meant to be sort of late teens, early 20s. And so the only thing that I'm sort of struggling with a little bit from what I've seen from the teaser trailer is that Paul hasn't, or certainly the clips we're seeing, hasn't really been aged up. He still looks the same as he did in part 2. And when he's got the shaven head, now this could be right at this could be a flashback to right at the start of the war. I mean, he looks even younger. He looks like a real baby face, you know, and he's meant to be. And again, they didn't do the time jump that was in the book. So if they hadn't done the time jump, he's meant to be about 16. Without the time jump in the books, he was like 19. So he would look really baby faced with a shaven head. So I'm kind of hoping that's more of a sort of a flashback of some description, sort of showing how the war played out. But otherwise, but yeah, because really he doesn't look any older. Even though everybody else is. I don't know. That's like, you know, that's going to be a first world nitpick problem if that's the only thing I don't like about Dune Part 3. But I'm very excited. It's been got to wait till December, which is like, given that these films tended to come out actually beginning of the year, but around this time of year, they were like February, March time. So now they've pushed it out to December. And it's obviously coming out at the same time as Doomsday. I will be watching this ahead of Doomsday, just so you know. What I've got to work out is, like, do I do both in one day, or do I do one on one day, one on the next day? Have to wait and see. December's a ways away. I can figure it out by then. But yeah, so I think massively refreshing and a little bit wow. We've had, you know, one great film, Project Hail Mary, and it looks like 2 more great films coming out this year. Now, 3 great films doesn't sound a lot, because it's not. But given the absolute slop that we've had in the main over the last couple of years, I mean, all you have to do is look at what the nominations were for Best Picture in the Oscars. I mean, Sinners I really liked. Go check out the review, but nominated for Best Picture? Really? Okay, sure, why not? But if that's, you know, that's like your best picture, that tells you really what came out that year. But it is good to see a horror film nominated and getting rid of this kind of snobbery around who can be nominated for Best Picture, who can be nominated for, you know, Best Actor, with that, you know, Amy Mitchkin again in Best Supporting Actress for Weapons. I think that's her name. Is that her name? It's definitely Amy. But told you I'm terrible with names. Sorry. I'm sure you'll correct me in the chat. Anyways, so again, love your thoughts on Dune 3. I know some people weren't blown away by part 2. Does this trailer bring you back into the fold? Some people who had were kind of, it was okay. Parts 1 and 2 are really excited by this trailer and more looking forward to it. So I'd love to know your thoughts. I'm certainly looking forward to it. Certainly hints at it's fixing the problems that us Dune book fans didn't like from part 2, but we'll have to wait and see. As always, let me know your thoughts. And of course, please do like, share, and subscribe. Thanks again to those who are new to the channel. Can't wait to interact, get your thoughts. And I'll be back soon with no doubt more pop chat in this crazy world of culture that we live in right now, and more reviews. You take care now. Bye-bye.